Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for Game 2 of opening day of the 15th annual Lynn City Soccer Championship Tournament. The boys taking center stage today. The girls will be here tomorrow. Half of the championship final has been decided. Lynn Glasgow edging Lynn Tech 2-1 to make it to the final. And the game we have in front of us, Lynn English in the maroon, St. Mary's in the white. This is a replay of last year's championship final. Lynn English beat St. Mary's last year. So St. Mary's looking for a little payback today. It's still a young St. Mary's team. They only have 4 seniors. On the other hand, English has 8 seniors. Both experienced goaltenders. Billy Allen for Lynn English, Richard Mateo for St. Mary's. English knocked it out. The throw-in for St. Mary's. The Spartans against the Bulldogs. Kerry King, one of the deans of the coaches, soccer-wise, with Peter Papagiannopoulos and Tim Harrell helping him. Mike D'Agostino with Joe Gill, Mike Russo, Nick Marcella, and Jamo George, who just graduated last year from, was a very good player for St. Mary's last year on the coaching staff. I mentioned Kerry, one of the deans, soccer-wise. Mike D'Agostino's been around a few years also. St. Mary's called, I think, for tripping. English will get the free kick. St. Mary's clears it deep, picked off by the Bulldogs. Pass slips by everybody. Block. St. Mary's went down, get back up, got control of it again. Trying to knock it deep, picked off. Oscar Calderon was the one that picked that pass off. Now they go deep. And they couldn't catch up with it. Pass was too far. Was out of play. Hit it out by St. Mary's. English will get the throw-in down deep. Johnson Nagandu will take it. Now he doesn't take it. He gave it to Arsenal. The ball bounces in by everybody. Mateo picks it off. And he boots it away. St. Mary's picks it off. A little feeling out period here early with these two teams. Neither team really doing anything, coming even close to getting a shot on net. They knock it deep. They tip it by, and it goes wide. Allen came all the way out beyond the 10-yard line. D'Oliveira had the break, and he tipped it over Allen and then watched and agonized as the ball went just wide of the net. Pass out in front, and they call St. Mary's offside. English knocks it out. They try to go in front. English trying to clear it away. And nice defense out in front. St. Mary's trying to get a shot off. Ball's loose. Everybody taking a shot at it. English finally clears it away. St. Mary's will get the throwing, but it's better that than having the ball bouncing around out in front of the net. It was like a hot potato. Nobody could get a piece of it. Tipped away. Just barely. Ball still loose. English finally clears it away. St. Mary's all over the net, but they can't get their foot on the ball. I said it was Oliveira who tipped that one that went wide over the goaltender when he came out. It wasn't him. It was Thongstafong who tipped it over the goaltender, and it went wide. I read it as 8, and it was 18. And it's going to go out of play. And it went out. They're saying off St. Mary's, so English was going to get the throw in. Deflected out by the Bulldogs into the St. Mary's bench area. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Going deep. Can't get around the defense. And English knocks it out of play. English will get the throw in down deep. So just back and forth. Again, still a feeling out period. Nobody really having any success getting anywhere near the two goaltenders. English knocks it out. English knocks it into their own bench area. So Glasgow moves, St. Mary's moves up a little closer. Glasgow was in the last game. They knock it deep, trying to get around the defense. Walked in, takes the shot. Allen makes the easy save. Couldn't get a lot on it. Had to get around the defense and get the shot off before the defense got to him. And that was De Oliveira. And it wasn't. It was Kevin Perez. So I've been giving De Oliveira a lot of credit. A lot of individual effort right there by Juan Perez. Didn't go very far. A nice little shift there by English. They knock it deep. They're onside. And Mateo will come all the way out to the 5-yard line over near the near side. And he throws it upfield. Johnson Nagandu was the guy they were looking to send in. He was out in front of everybody, but Mateo got there first. Pop up. Bouncing around. English finally gets control. Couple of nice passes down the near far side. St. Mary's will knock it out. English will get the throw in from down deep. And we'll have a substitution before they throw it in. Now they're changing it and giving it to St. Mary's. Now they're going to change it and give it to English. So they finally get it straightened out. Now they're going to give it to St. Mary's. It went back and forth 3 times. Knocked loose. English gets it back. St. Mary's picks it off. Sorry, everything runs together here with this long day at Manning Field. Trying to go behind the back, a little too much shake and bake there as it goes out of play. Walking in, as he lined up the shot, the defense got there and made the play. Garcia was all by himself. He lined up the shot. Looked like he had it all alone walking in. And I think it was Zach Arsenault who came over and made the defensive play. English keeps it in and then knocks it away. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Coming up on 15 minutes into this first half, no score. English trying to let it go out of play, and they do. So English will get the kick. Billy Allen will do the honors. As once again, we get substitutions. English doesn't have that big a staff, but there's an awful lot of St. Mary's players here. English knocks it out. St. Mary's took it away, but they stepped out, knocked it out. English will get the throw in. It's almost like we're playing defense, looking for one good shot for one goal. They could make a difference in the game. A little feeling out for these players, too. I don't know how many scrimmages they've had. Well, the scrimmages are not the same as game conditions, especially tournament conditions. Knocked out. English moving it a little bit nicely now. Get up. Nagandu. Knocked out by the Bulldogs. St. Mary's couldn't keep it in. Cora will take the throw in for the Bulldogs. Waiting for substitutions. Cora pushed it a little too far. He's trying to push it himself. Got a little too much foot. St. Mary's takes it away. And St. Mary's gets knocked down. Arsenault with the takedown. St. Mary's will get a free kick from not a bad angle. On the sideline, just inside the 5-yard line. They drilled it long and deep. I think that was, they were playing it that way. They went deep and they got a head on it. And the header went up over the net and out of play. think it was Olashola George that got his head on that. Sent it up over the net. That's about the closest anybody's come to getting a shot on net. They knock it deep. St. Mary's looking to collect, and they do. Coming down the middle. Pass too far ahead. Cora's going to let it go out of play. And what a great save by St. Mary's. They slid and got a foot on it and kept it in play. English clears it away. Tremendous play. Slid. Cora was trying to just let it go out of play. St. Mary's slid to it, got a foot on it, just kept it in. They deflected out in front, and then English was able to clear it away out of trouble. And now St. Mary's knocks it wide of the net and out of play. English will kick it away. Halfway through and counting this first half. No score. St. Mary's and English. The winner gets classical for the Lynn City Championship, the 15th annual Lynn City Championship. English is trying to make it 2 in a row. St. Mary's trying to get back on the winning side. They've won it quite a few times. They go across field. St. Mary's collects. And it goes off St. Mary's into the St. Mary's bench area. Not a whole lot of offense through this first half. And English knocked it out. Now they call it off St. Mary's. English lost it out of bounds. For most of this first half, it's been played between the 20s. They get it inside. English knocks it away. It'll go out. St. Mary's will get the throw in down deep. They kick it to the net, high, wide. St. Mary's couldn't keep it in. It went out of play. Went from the far side to the near side, tried to get it up near the net. A little too much foot, went way wide, and St. Mary's couldn't keep it in play. Out. Coming up on 15 minutes left in this first half, nobody has scored. And nobody really has come close. They call St. Mary's, I think, for offside. English will kick it away. Now it goes out off the Bulldogs. Mary's picked it off. English gets it back. English got knocked down. Slow getting back up, but he's up. .36 left in this first half. No score in the ball game, and we're going to get a timeout. 14:36 showing on the clock as the teams come back from the sideline after the timeout. Still no score. St. Mary's gets the first corner kick. For them, the first corner kick of the year. First corner kick of this game, obviously. Out in front. English got a piece of it, knocked it away. St. Mary's trying to get control. They pop it up. Billy Allen comes out, picks it off in the air, and he'll kick it out of harm's way. Gets it out near midfield. They knock it deep. St. Mary's coming back the other way. Perez down the far side. Trying to walk in, still in control. It gets knocked away from him from behind by Diallo. And it goes out off English. St. Mary's couldn't keep it in. Conley thought he had it. It went out. From long range, Billy Allen makes the save. That was Nick Pappas, I believe, with the shot. Free kick for the Bulldogs, coming just over their side of the 50-yard line. St. Mary's gets around one. They dump it down the far side. And they score. A little pass, a little touch. Billy Allen trying to come out and cut down the angle. And it's D'Oliveira. He just nudged it. It went down the far side. He broke to the net. The pass came. When he got it, he just one-timed it and rolled it underneath Allen into the far corner. So St. Mary's gets on the board. Diego D'Oliveira gives St. Mary's a 1-0 lead. Allen did all he could. He came out. It was one-on-one. He came out to cut down the angle, held the post, and D'Oliveira, who's a pretty good goal scorer, just rolled it under him. And it rolled into the far corner, giving St. Mary's the 1-0 lead. So it took a long time, but somebody finally gets on the board. English trying to get the shot off. It was tough. They were in between 2 or 3 defenders, and all they could do was get a foot on it and pop it up and knock it out of play. That was Hamali, I think, who got his foot on it in traffic. Ball loose, winds up with Hamali. And I think he thought somebody was going to break down that far side, and they didn't, and the ball just went out of bounds. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Ten minutes and counting left in this first half. 1-0 St. Mary's. Classical has already won their game 2-1 over Tech. So the winner gets Classical, the loser gets Tech. St. Mary's takes it away, looking to go deep. Down the far side, 1-on-1, trying to walk in. Shot. Billy Allen came out. Couldn't get a piece of it, but it just went wide. Good bid by St. Mary's. They couldn't cut into the net because the defender was there pushing him away. But they got a good hard shot off, and it just went wide of the net. That was Chris Garcia with the attempt. Garcia again. Takes the shot, hit the top crossbar. He put it right in the middle of the net. It hit the top crossbar. It can go either way. It bounced and went over the net rather than dropping down into the net. Another nice bid by Chris Garcia. Back-to-back tries by him in the last 10 minutes. St. Mary's takes it away. They throw it too deep for Garcia. English has to knock it away. They were going to try and let it go out of bounds, but Garcia was going to take it away. So they had no choice. They had to knock it out. And now it goes out off St. Mary's. And with just under 8 minutes left, we're going to get our second timeout. 7:57 showing on the scoreboard clock as we're winding down this first half. Diego de Oliveira has given St. Mary's the 1-0 lead. English really hasn't come close yet. They've had it in the St. Mary's end a couple of times, but haven't been able to get close to getting a shot on net. They bang it off, English out of play. It went off Nagandu. Tipped away nicely by the defense of St. Mary's. English gets it back. Pass just a little too far. Hamali tried to hit Nagandu, and it just went too far ahead and went out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in. And it gets headed out. Headed out again. Last one by De Leon. Brennan De Leon. And English takes down Thongs to Fong. Diallo didn't think he did anything wrong. The official explained to him what he did. George will take the free kick right from midfield. Popped up. And he finally gets headed out by Nagandu. Nagandu again knocks it out. A little deeper now as we get substitutions coming in for St. Mary's. As we've got to 5 minutes and counting left in this first half, 1-0 St. Mary's. We mentioned they're looking to avenge the loss last year. These two teams played for the city championship last year. English defeated St. Mary's. And now it's carried out by Thongs to Fong. English will get the throw in. Broken up. English gets it back. Back to Cora. Mackey picked it off. St. Mary's winds up with it. Down the far side, English gets a piece and kicks it. And I thought English kicked it out. It certainly looked like it, but they're going to give it to English to throw in. They fanned on the kick. St. Mary's winds up with it. Upfield. Mackey gets run over by Nagandu just as he got the ball away, and it goes down the far side. English will kick it away and kick it out. St. Mary's knocks it out. Tried a little give and go, and they were going in different directions. I wound up going behind the St. Mary's bench. English will get the throw in. High pop up to midfield. Bouncing around. St. Mary's takes control. Down deep. Little twist. Almost sitting down on the turf. Garcia got the pass back, and then St. Mary's knocks it out of play. They bang it off Nagandu. We're in the final 2 minutes of the first half. St. Mary's leading at 1-0. They got the goal with just over 11 minutes left in this half by De Oliveira. And that's as close as anybody has come. He tried to throw it up. It got picked off in the middle. St. Mary's coming back. They lob it down. And St. Mary's got a foot on it, and they knock it out. Allen will kick it away as we're winding down this first half. A little bit of a collision at the 35-yard line. St. Mary's gets the free kick. They hustle quickly. They take the shot. Allen makes the save. Little shot hop. A good thing he made it cleanly because there were two white shirts bearing down on him. Cora with it. Little shift. His pass picked off. They knock it deep, and they can't keep it in. It wouldn't have made any difference anyway because the whistle sounds ending the first half. So back and forth, not many chances by either team. De Oliveira got a little shovel pass, and he was breaking to the net. He was almost on top of Billy Allen. Allen came out to cut down the angle, and De Oliveira just got a piece and just kind of pushed it underneath Allen into the far corner. And that's the difference, and that's where we are at halftime. De Oliveira's goal is the difference. It's St. Mary's 1, English nothing at halftime. Welcome back to Manning Fields. We're set to start the second half. 1-0 St. Mary's. And we're underway. English trying to put some offense together. In speaking to Karen King and reading his quotes in the paper to some of the people who were doing stories, he said last year they played a lot of games. They didn't have a great year last year, wins and losses, but they had a lot of games that they were in. They lost some one-goal games, and their problem was putting the ball in the net. And he thought he had a lot more speed. This year he might be able to do a little bit more. But his speed has not helped him tonight because he hasn't been close to getting even a shot on net. Mateo hasn't had to do a lot of work in net for St. Mary's. Billy Allen's had to make a couple of saves on the other side. It rolled all the way in, everybody taking a look at it, and finally English cleared it away. Shot from long range doesn't quite get to the net, goes off the side of the net on the far side. Allen will kick it away. St. Mary's takes it away, kicks it deep. Tracking it down is Calderon. He lets it go, it goes out of play. Allen will get to kick it away. Doesn't try to go deep. He's got kicking into the wind. He just tried to kick it to one of his defenders on the far side. St. Mary's winds up kicking it out of play. English will get the throw in. They were looking for the ball boy over there to give him a ball, but the ball boy had to go up in the stands because the last one of the latest ones that went out of play wound up going up in the seats on the other side. He had to go get it. And he's just now getting back down to the field. St. Mary's trying to keep it in. Can't. It goes out of play. Billy Allen will get to use that right foot again. Hit it all the way back to the English end, and I believe it's Arsenal hitting it out of play. Trying to get the shot off, it wound up going way wide. St. Mary's picked it off, but couldn't get a rebound for a second shot, and now English kicks it out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Longstafon got the shot off, hooked it way wide and deep. St. Mary's was actually there, but couldn't push it back. Shot blocked. English clears it away. St. Mary's keeping it in the English end. English takes it away. English coming back the other way. Nice little give and go. Nagandu. Back. It got picked off. Longstafon picked it off and knocked it high, wide, and out of play. English has moved it, get down, and I suppose what you'd call the red zone. But then they turn it over. St. Mary's breaks up the play and knocks it out, and English hasn't been able to finish. This will be Arsenal with the free kick. He drilled it off the back. Off the back of De Oliveira, and De Oliveira runs up the back of Barrios. And they get another free kick, and Hamali will take this one. They drilled it right off the back of De Oliveira, and when he went to get it, everybody came together. St. Mary's clears it away. English knocks it back down. Just barely kept it in. Broken up nicely by Longstafon. They knock it deep. English breaks it up and knocks it just shy of the English bench area. St. Mary's down deep. English knocks it out. English clears it away. And St. Mary's catches up and knocks it out. Well, I think St. Mary's stole that one. St. Mary's knocked it out. St. Mary's quickly came up, took it away and threw it in very quickly. It certainly looked as though St. Mary's knocked that ball out. Now they throw it deep, and I think it was Garcia that was breaking, but he was offside. Shot, score. Nice bit of passing. Nice job of passing. I don't know if we need a little shake and bake like that. And the referee is just talking to the St. Mary's player saying we don't need that. Chris Garcia got the goal. I believe it was De Oliveira who made the nice pass. So St. Mary's has a little bit of breathing room, and English is going to have to go to work. English spins down, no call at midfield. English gets it back. Broken up by Thongs to Fong. He tried a long lead pass. He threw it behind the intended receiver. I don't know how that can be St. Mary's ball. De Oliveira looking to make the pass to Conley. Just threw it too far ahead and it went out of bounds, and they gave it to St. Mary's. I think I have to get my eyes checked. It wasn't deflected. It went straight upfield. St. Mary's collecting. Blocked by Calderon. Picked off by the Spartans. Takedown with no call. St. Mary's fans were screaming. Now they took this English player down. They hit him hard and hurt him. He went down. A little extracurricular activity there. Almost like a little hip check. And he just spun up in the air and went down hard. Going again. It was nice to see Oscar Calderon walk out under his own steam. English knocks it out. 10 minutes and counting into the second half. St. Mary's got a goal in the first. They've added one here, and they built their lead now to 2-0. They go deep. St. Mary's hustling. They keep it in. They try to throw it out in front. English knocks it out. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. Coming from the near side. Just went wide. They got a piece of it. Looked like they might have got a knee on it and bounced it. English got a piece of it and knocked it wide. St. Mary's will try it again. English got a piece of it there and knocked it away. Taken away from behind by St. Mary's. Perez gets it back. England's trying to get something going. They've been able to move it down into St. Mary's territory, get it fairly close. But they've been hard pressed to get a good shot off. And there it is again, being broken up by St. Mary's. St. Mary's, nice couple of nice passes, gets it right back down deep, moving the ball well. Nice little shift, and the shot, score! They went around the defense, made a nice little shift, and Garcia knocks it home. He gets his second. He made a nice little turn around the defense, came back to the middle, and just ripped it inside the near post. And it gives St. Mary's a lot of breathing room now at 3-0. Garcia, one of the captains, being a good leader, getting 2 goals, breaking open a close 1-0 game, making it 3-0. English knocked it out. Nice little shift by Garcia. Came down the far side. Looked like he was going to try and go around the defense to his left. Just stopped, cut back, and very quickly rifled the shot off. It just got inside the far post. And diving across, trying to get a piece of that would-be shot to the middle. Just missing it. I think that was Perez who went airborne, trying to get a piece of that shot. And he just missed it, and Allen was able to make the save and get it out of harm's way. St. Mary's will get the throw in. From long range, the shot goes high and wide and out of play. Longs to Fong's pass, set it up, and it's got a little too much foot and pulled it far enough that it went wide. That was Perez, I believe. Hamali will take the throw in. He gets through with the ball, but then St. Mary's comes and gets it. And then Hamali runs over the St. Mary's player. And St. Mary's will kick it away. Made a nice little shift between 2 defenders, went to try and go and get it. And he ran over George, who beat him to the ball. Mateo gets it out near midfield. Bodies go down. Longs to Fong. Wrapped up. They dump it down deep. St. Mary's gets there and keeps it in. They say it went out. St. Mary's couldn't keep it in. Nice little shift by the Gandu. He got knocked away, but when they knocked away, they knocked it off the hand of Oscar Perez. He tried to get around the defense. They pushed it too far, went out of play. And we'll have substitutions. St. Mary's brought enough players, I'll say that. They brought most of the student body dressed on the sideline for Mike D'Agostino. I think I counted 38 bodies on their roster. If a fight breaks out, St. Mary's got twice as many players as English does. Of course, that's because they brought freshmen in, JVs. English trying to find some way to crack that St. Mary's defense. And every time they get down deep, something happens. Trying to get the shot off and can't. Gandu drops it back. English saves it. Perez ahead. Now they're going to call Gandu was offside. I'm not sure what the stoppage was for. Usually the clock just keeps on going. Whistle against St. Mary's. English will get the throw in. Mohamed Diallo. And now they're going to call it, I think, contact. So it's going to be a free kick. Diallo will take the free kick. Just about the 30-yard line at a tough angle. Knocked away by St. Mary's. Bodies go down as it's blocked by St. Mary's back into the English end. Alderaan knocks it ahead. St. Mary's was looking to grab it, but they knocked it out. English gets the quick throw in. And we're going to get a do-over, I think. I don't know if there was a substitution or the official wasn't ready with the very quick throw-in by English. St. Mary's trying to bang it out, can't. English carried it out. St. Mary's will get the throw-in as we reach the halfway mark and counting of the second half. 3-0 St. Mary's. Right now, they're well on their way to avenging last year's loss to English in the City Soccer Championship final. They double up on English and take it away. And it goes out off English. It'd be a little different league for English to play in this year because we got Medford, Malden, Everett, and Somerville. And they divided the league up. So they won't, teams that normally would play like the girls' team from English won't be playing Beverly, Danvers. Twice. Peabody thrown in. That was almost 6 automatic losses because English, those are 3 teams that don't lose many games in the Northeastern Conference, don't lose many games even in the state tournament. Three outstanding girls soccer programs. And football the same way. There's 15 teams in football because Everett is playing an independent schedule. So they made 3 5-team divisions. So they play the teams in their division. They play a couple of outside teams, and they only play 7 games before the playoffs and Thanksgiving. Down the far side, and they call St. Mary's offside. Arsenal will take the kick. Perez gets it ahead. O'Malley looking to make a play. Playing catch with Perez. They go to the far side. They try to go deep. And they go too deep. It goes out of play. They're looking for Gomez breaking down the far side. St. Mary's will make wholesale changes. Kerry King not able to do that. So some of the English kids might be getting worn down a little bit. As we mentioned, St. Mary's with a host of players on their sideline, they can give a lot of respites, if you will. English knocks it into the St. Mary's bench area. 15 minutes and counting left in this one as we're winding down day 1 of the opening season here on TV 15 and day 1 of the Lynn City Soccer Championship Tournament. The boys today, the girls will take center stage tomorrow. And it'll be the same pairings. Glasgow will play Lynn Tech and English will play St. Mary's. And I was walking my dogs in English and I saw Ed McNeil and he said to me he's going to add a couple of the younger kids onto the roster because he's already got a couple of people hurt. we mentioned some of the, you'll see Kip for the first time on TV 15. They have a football game scheduled with Lynn Tech, and Kip will play both the boys and the girls in soccer during the season. And they've got a football team for the first time. And obviously they'll be playing their home games here at Manning Field. And Mary's trying to center it, blocked. So Mary's gets it back. They throw it out in front. Shot, blocked nicely. I think it was Hamali that made that nice block on the would-be shot to the net. They knock it deep. It gets through, goes off a foot. Can they keep it in? They can. English takes it away, but then English knocks it out. So St. Mary's will get it down deep with the throw-in. Out in front, English trying to clear it away. St. Mary's controls. Popped up. Trying to get it to the net. Knocked away by Arsenal. High pop up to the far side. They're not going to get there. It's going to go out of play. English will get to kick it away. St. Mary's again will make wholesale changes. English trying to go quickly. They've got to almost forget about defense and go offense. They need some goals. St. Mary's not letting them get going at all. Skips by everybody. Shot blocked. Nice defense. Nolan Perez was trying to carry it, and it went out off Nolan Perez. As opposed to Kevin Perez. Kevin's a sophomore. Nolan's a junior. I don't know if they're related or not. And we got contact or push or whatever by St. Mary's. English will get a free kick. They're going to start taking advantage. We're under 10 minutes left. Hamali will take the kick from about the 21-yard line. From a tough left angle. And he knocks it wide of the net. He started it right. What he wanted to do was start it out way out to the right and hook it back in. He started it right at the net and hooked well wide as English makes substitutions along with St. Mary's. So unless lightning strikes here, St. Mary's is going to avenge the loss to English last year, and they're going to play in the championship round for the second year in a row. In this, the 15th edition, they're going to take on Classical. Nice little shift, trying to walk in. Can't, has to pull it back out. St. Mary's doing very well, double teaming the ball. Not letting them make really good passes and getting down deep. Mateo's had a very easy game in net. And Billy Allen has not. It went for a long time in the first half. There was just over 11 minutes left. So we went almost 3/4 of the first half before anybody scored. De Oliveira just managed to squeeze one past Billy Allen. And it was 1-0 at halftime. But then St. Mary's kept the pressure on. And Chris Garcia got back-to-back goals to make it 3-0. And that's where we are with 7.5 minutes left. They get by. English is walking in alone, and they score. It skipped past a couple of defenders. And English was able to walk in alone. Patrick Nakata. Gets English on the board. So don't go away. It's not over yet. If they could get another quick one, they'd be right back in this thing. They've cut the lead to 3-1. That was a case of they made the centering pass. Two defenders for St. Mary's both went to get the ball. It skipped past them. And that allowed Patrick Nakata to just walk in alone. And Mateo, too much to ask for the goaltender, guarding that Grand Canyon, as I call it. The net is humongous. Awful difficult one-on-one to make the save. And Nakata walked in and banged it home. Longstafong battles through a couple of defenders, gets the kick off, and it goes well wide left and out of play. Still a very rough road to hoe for Lynn English as they're down 2 with just over 6 minutes left in the game. But they certainly celebrated that goal. And Nakata, who's a junior. I don't remember him from last year. That might be his first goal as a Bulldog. Out off St. Mary's. St. Mary's job now is just to keep the ball out of their end. They don't really need any more goals. They just have to keep English off the board so they can just knock it down deep anytime it gets close. Knocked away by Connor Mackey. And a pass behind the would-be pass receiver was breaking to the middle, and the passer thought he was going to the outside. It wound up in the English bench area. English trying to go deep. St. Mary's got 4 guys back there playing defense. St. Mary's will track it down and keep it in, which is what they want to do. Trying to throw it in front. Shot blocked. They get it back. Shot over the net. It deflected right on the foot of, I think, Garcia, who was looking for a hat trick. And he got too much foot in it and knocked it up over the net and out of play. English knocks it out with 4 minutes and counting left. English knocks it out again. St. Mary's has it where they want it in the English end, leading by 2 with under 4 minutes left. English keeps knocking it out. St. Mary's keeps throwing it in. They're content to do that. They sent Ramsey in because he can throw it a lot further, and the ball slipped out of his hands. It just popped out and went about 2 feet. But St. Mary's controls. The shot from long range is going to go well wide right and out of play. So English avoided the shutout, but St. Mary's is going to get the win, as I mentioned before, revenge last year's loss in the championship final, and they'll get to face Lynn Classical in the final. Lynn English will take on Lynn Tech in the consolation round. And again, St. Mary's doing what they want to do. Keep it in the English end. Corner kick coming up for the Spartans. Deflected away. St. Mary's trying to knock it back in. They knock it wide right and out of play. Aiden O'Brien was that shot that went wide. St. Mary's right back at it. And for the course of the game, hit the post. They lined it up from about the 15-yard line. And that was Thongstafong. He fooled the goaltender. The goaltender was going to his left, thinking it was going to go to the near post. Longstafong shot it to the far post, and it hit off the post and bounced out. That's how close he came to getting the fourth goal for St. Mary's. But we're in the final 2 minutes as we get a timeout, and it's 3-1. St. Mary's got the first goal in the first half from Diego de Oliveira. He got breaking to the net. Allen came out to cut down the angle. As he was coming out, de Oliveira just one-timed it and rolled it underneath him into the far corner. And it was 1-0 at halftime. Garcia came out and made 2 pretty goals back-to-back to make it 3-0. And then a pass in the middle of the field. 2 St. Mary's defenders looked for it, it bounced by them, and Patrick Nakata picked it up, walked in alone, and banged it home for the goal for English. And that's where we are, 3-1 in the final 2 minutes. And day 1 of the Lynn City Tournament Soccer Championship is coming to a close. So it's going to be St. Mary's and Classical in the final on Saturday evening, and it will be English and Tech in the consolation round. And that's an early morning wake-up for English and Tech. It's a 9 o'clock start. That's the other benefit of winning the first game here. You get to sleep late. Broken up again by St. Mary's and knocked away. Knocked out by Mackey. Arsenault will take the throw in. As we, not much time left in this one. I'm not sure if Lynn English will play during the regular season, if they'll play teams as good as the St. Mary's team they're playing now, as the whistle sounds. So a good test for English. It gives Kerry King a chance to look at his team in game action. Mike D'Agostino has to be happy they avenged last year's loss, and they gave away that first goal, and English just couldn't get anything going. And the goal they got, it wound up with two St. Mary's players coming together and missing the pass and letting Nikata walk in alone. So St. Mary's had shut down English almost completely, and they just couldn't get any offense going at all. And Garcia, after De Oliveira made it 1-0 at halftime, Garcia got those two big goals back-to-back in the second half to make it 3-0, and that was really all they needed. Mateo had a not-so-busy day in net, didn't have to do really much. The only time he had that one-on-one confrontation, and it's awful hard to block that Grand Canyon net one-on-one. Nakata got the goal for English. De Oliveira got one, Garcia got two, and that's where we are. 3-1. St. Mary's wins it. It'll be St. Mary's against Classical in the 15th annual and the 2017 Lynn City Championship Soccer Tournament. It will be English taking on Lynn Tech in the consolation round. So again, the final score is St. Mary's 3, English 1. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.